guys, welcome back to this week of Spiffed Up. I'm so excited to be filming this video today because this is going to be something a little bit different. It is still makeup pertained, but I wanted to kind of help the ones out there that are like, new year, new me. I want to get started with wearing makeup, but I don't know exactly where to start. So this video is going to be all about getting started with wearing makeup, what products to kind of look into, how to kind of get started with brushes and things like that. This video is also in collaboration with one of my friends on here. Her name is Dinah. She's going to be doing her own little version of a beginner tutorial, so definitely go and check out her video. I'll leave it down in the description box below. Make sure to tell her that I sent you over. I'll extremely appreciate that, and if you gave her video a thumbs up as well. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell down below as well, because that'll just notify you whenever I upload a new video, and you can be one of the first ones to watch it. Also, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram because all the face details for the makeup look will be there as well. @SpiffedUp is the username, so go and check it out. Show me some love on there, follow me there as well, and do all of that. So this is going to be a very informative tutorial, so I suggest for the beginners out there that are like wanting to like take some notes down, I definitely encourage that. So definitely get a notebook before you watch the rest of this video. Get a pen, start taking some notes because I'm going to be trying to help you out as much as possible. Alright guys, so without further ado, let's just get started with this getting started with makeup tutorial. Alright, so before anything at all, before any type of makeup that you put on your face, you want to make sure that you moisturize, because since you are going to start putting product on your face, your pores are going to start to get cloggy. You know, you want to make sure that you have a nice layer between your skin and the makeup that you're going to be putting on. So definitely have a moisturizer on hand. One that I can recommend is my tried and true Ultra Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty. This is going to be a higher end moisturizer, but it is only $12. You can get this at Sephora or anywhere else that sells First Aid Beauty, but for sure Sephora. So this is just an all skin type moisturizer. It just helps with dry, parched skin. So it's perfect for like the winter time, like right now when like everyone's skin is all cracky and dry. So I'm just gonna be breaking that up along my face. Alright, so if you have any hyperpigmentation like myself, spot concealing is a technique that you can do before you put on your foundation. So basically you can just take any concealer that you have, preferably something that is 2 shades lighter than your skin, and you can just go on the certain areas that you just want to kind of conceal first. This helps with like saving the foundation, and this also helps with just having an even layer of skin, just making sure that everything looks nice and even. So I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. concealer. This is their uplifting concealer in the shade medium, and I'm just going to be going on the certain areas where I want to kind of cover up. So I had a recent breakout right here. I'll take some right here. And the more that you put on the foundation and the more that you get kind of used to wearing makeup, you'll kind of notice what spots kind of stand out more. That way, like for me, you can see that I have all this acne scarring going on, but I know that I wear my certain foundation and I just find that it covers pretty much every single area except for certain areas where I kind of spot concealed. So don't think that you have to apply it like all over your face and conceal. I used to do that. It was so bad. Oh my gosh. If anything, it made the problem worse. So next, for tools, definitely invest in some type of beauty sponge. So one that I found that was really affordable that you can kind of find anywhere is the Real Techniques Beauty Complexion Sponge. I just found that this was pretty nice and soft and gentle, and it really does blend out the product really well. So this is roughly around $6, and all you do is just kind of run it underneath the sink, kind of expand the sponge. You want to get it nice and moisturized, and just make sure that it doesn't have like loose excess water. So if you kind of squeeze it out, if it's kind of lets out that water, get a towel, kind of just squeeze it out and make sure everything is nice and damp. So I'm going to go in and kind of just blend that out. And all you want to do is just kind of lightly stipple around the area. So stipple just kind of means like this type of motion. You're just kind of pressing it in very rapidly. So a recent foundation that just launched on the market is the L'Oreal Total Cover Foundation. I wanted to try this out, so I recently purchased it. So this is a really great full coverage foundation. If you're not looking for such a full coverage foundation, definitely look into something that has the word sheer in it, and make sure that it just says like light to medium coverage on the back of the bottle. And typically it usually does. So I'm going to take a decent amount on the back of my hand. So I'm going to break that up with my finger. Now at the bottom of that beauty sponge, I'm going to pick up what's left on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to blend this out. So all I'm doing is just those same stippling motions. I'm just blending this out. So once we have the foundation on, you can go ahead and start highlighting underneath the eyes. I suggest going with a concealer that's going to be pretty close to the color of your skin. So I'm going to go back in with that e.l.f. concealer in shade medium. I just find that this looks really natural underneath my type of skin tone. And it looks like I'm applying a lot of product, but you want to make sure that you put a nice, decent amount in order to have a nice, smooth application and nothing looks patchy or anything like that. I know some people are like, one dot and they'll blend that out. And I'm like, girl, no, that doesn't help. So for me, I like to start like right in the inner corner, and I'll drop it down up to my nostril, like right where like the highest point of it is, and then I'll do like a triangle and kind of bring it outwards up to like right here. Highlighting the forehead just a little bit as well is really just gonna make a big difference whenever you go in with any bronzer, because it'll really just like open up the forehead area. Even if you're scared that you have like a gigantic forehead, don't worry, because bronzer will come in a minute and will make that kind of shrink a little bit. But for the main part, you just want to make sure that you're nice and concealed underneath the eyes and just have a little bit on the forehead. So with the same blending sponge, I'm going to take the other side of it where it's nice and pointed. The side that we kind of took to spot conceal, I'm going to do that same side and just take that underneath my eyes. It's nice and tapered and pointed on that end just because for this reason, whenever you go in with your concealer, that way you're not using this flat side and it's like. And go ahead and kind of take that onto your eyelids as well, because that'll just be nice and primed for whenever we go in with any type of eye makeup that we do. And I'm not putting any more product on the eyelid, I'm just taking whatever is left underneath my eyes to blend that out. Alright, so now that we got all of our liquid products done and out of the way, we want to make sure that it's nice and locked and set in place. So a lot of people have this misconception that if you go in with some type of powder foundation, that's the only thing that you can do. But translucent powders are another product that are really great to locking in foundation without adding any coverage or anything like that. It's just going to make sure that all the liquids are nice and set in place. So the Coty Airspun powder is probably one powder that is so popular right now out on the market. I don't know how you wouldn't know about this product, but this is a really great formula for just setting any type of liquid on the face. I don't like to use this little puff that comes with it. I kind of just take that out and I'll tap whatever is on the little puff onto the cap of the product. And then I'll just take a little bit and kind of tap the bottom, and right there we have a little bit of product. So we're gonna go ahead and set that. I picked up this brush at Walgreens. This is the Wet n Wild contour brush, and it was only 99 cents. So you don't need a lot of brushes to do good makeup. So I'm gonna show you guys how to kind of go in with setting your face, bronzer, and blush with just this one brush. So kind of just pick up a little bit of product. You wanna make sure that you tap it out. So tap off that excess, okay? You don't want to have a lot on this brush. And all you're gonna do is just kind of brush it on. Have a very light hand. Don't think that you have to kind of like be very harsh with it, because that'll just move the product around. And this is a new brush, so shedding is very common. This will also help with any shine that you may have throughout the entire day. If you find that you are super oily in certain areas, definitely over powder in that certain area, kind of leave it on. That method is called baking, and that's just going to ensure that all the like oils are just locked in place and none are being produced. So for me, it's sort of like my forehead. So I'm going to take a little bit more of that product and really just pack it on. And you want to leave like that residue that's on there for like at least 30 seconds to a minute. The nose as well. Alright, so I'll be right back in just a minute. Like I said, 30 seconds to a minute. If you find that that's not working for you, you can definitely leave that on for 2 minutes to, honestly, 5 minutes. This is the point where I like to go in with my chapstick just to kind of moisturize my lips, get them ready for any type of lipstick, lip gloss that I may have. By moisturizing beforehand, this just ensures that your lipstick doesn't look like chappy or patchy or just flaky on the lips. It looks nice and smooth whenever you apply it. Alright, so go ahead and sweep that off with the same brush. Just want to make sure that all the excess powder is nice and brushed off. And now you have a nice and set face, so next you can go in with all of your powders that you may have. So I don't recommend to go out to like your nearest Sephora or Ulta or makeup store and going to buy like an expensive contour kit. Honestly, that comes like later on whenever you start getting used to like wearing bronzer and things like that. So definitely practice first before you invest in like good quality makeup. So for my contour today, or necessarily just bronzer, I'm gonna be going in with my e.l.f. Contour Quad palette. This is gonna come with a few like highlighting shades in the palette, and then it's gonna come with 2 bronzing shades. So that's exactly what we're going to be using. We're going to be using these 2 bronzing shades today. This palette's only $6, so, and I've mentioned this before on my channel, it is one of my favorite drugstore contour palettes that you can invest in. So we're gonna go in with that same brush that we used to set our entire face, but I'm going to be taking a little bit of some alcohol. You want to make sure that it's at least 91% because that is going to be an antibacterial. And you can just take some Kleenex and just spray one time on the tissue and then kind of just swirl it around, and that will disinfect the brush. It will clean the brush from any product left over. 70% alcohol is not necessarily antibacterial, so keep that in mind. You want to make sure that it's at least 91%. So like I said, just kind of, and then just get that brush, kind of just swirl it in the tissue, and you see how it has still some pigment. It's because of my liquid foundation. So just make sure that it's nice and clean, turn it over on the other side, and then just kind of dry it off. And typically with alcohol, it'll just dry up really quick. You just want to make sure that it's nice and dry. So going in with that contour quad, I'm just gonna be kind of honestly picking up both because mama ain't got no time. Mama's in a rush. Mama got to go make her coins at work. So definitely don't think too much into like, oh my gosh, what shade do I use? If they work for you, if all of them work, then do them all. So by adding bronzer to the face, it's just gonna add a lot of warmth to your face. It's not gonna look like flat or anything. Think of it as just playing with your shades and lights. This is just adding an extra dimension onto the face. So all I like to do is just go in with circular motions, and that'll just kind of blend it out. And now you have a little bit of warmth onto the outer perimeters of the face. It actually kind of like shaped and contoured the areas on the outer perimeter, so that's really just going to shape and sculpt everything. Now typically for blush, I just kind of like to leave whatever product I have on there, but you're more than welcome to kind of spray a little bit of alcohol again, kind of clean off that brush onto the Kleenex. But seriously, I like whenever blush and bronzer kind of mix together because it looks super blended out. So for blush today, I'm going to be taking the Milani Luminoso blush and that same contour brush. We're just going to be kind of swirling it in there, generally like in this area right here, just kind of mixing it in with my bronzer. So this is going to bring back some of that redness that we tried to cover up. And all I'm doing is just doing light motions like this. Alright, so with this contour quad, I'm going to be picking up this e.l.f. brow brush and the contour quad, but I'm going to be taking this darker brown shade. And I'm going to be picking that up, and we're going to be using that for our brows today. If you have lighter brows, definitely look into some type of eyebrow gel or eyebrow mascara that will have a little bit of a tint in it. I personally just have really dark brows, so using that bronzer shade is really just going to work for me. I'm going to just take that a little bit and kind of coat my brows out. And this is just going to add a little bit of definition to the brows. They're the frames of your face. And all I'm doing is I'm just adding a nice light layer onto the brows. I'm building up this powder. And I kind of like how this looks. It's very natural looking. It doesn't look so harsh or so edged or cleaned up or anything. It just looks very like your brows are your brows. So I'm going to be picking up the two bronzing shades again. We're going to be moving on into the eye area. So I'm going to be taking my Wet n Wild crease brush, which is also 99 cents. I picked this up at Walgreens. Honestly, these brushes are really good and they're affordable. For somebody who doesn't have a lot of brushes in their collection, using a sponge and these two brushes, you can slay the world. So I'm just going to be picking up those two shades and just kind of running those a little bit into the crease. I kind of like how that looks, honestly. Like, it looks effortless. Like, you look like you have like those dark circles that are so like edgy and smoky and like in style. So all I did, I took that into the crease area just a little bit, kind of blended that out. Same thing on this side, just kind of blended out those two shadows together. I left the lid completely alone. Whatever kind of dropped onto the lid while I was blending, let it be. So you can curl your lashes if you wanted to, or you can go in with some falsies. If you're not one who is comfortable to wear falsies, or you just have really small lids and can't wear any dramatic lashes, you can definitely just curl your lashes, put on a little bit of mascara, and be out the door. But for me personally, I like to go in with some lashes, especially if the look is very natural. I find that whenever you have really nice dramatic lashes and you have very simple makeup, it just, I don't know, it just makes your look really pretty. So I'm going to be going with my Ardell Glamour Lashes in number 113. And these are just a nice, long, wispy. If you wanted something that's a little bit more muted, you can definitely go in with a Ardell Wispy or an Ardell Demi Wispy. So I just put a little bit of lash glue on the lash band. I like to use the Duo Lash with the brush on adhesive. I just find that that is like the best one because the tube can sometimes get a little bit messy. This one just has like a nice little applicator that you can go in and kind of just brush it onto the lash instead of squeezing it out, making a giant mess, getting lash glue on your fingers and whatnot. So to put these on, I kind of like to go in the center. I'll definitely like look up a little bit but have the mirror downwards. So I just like to make sure that they're nice and close to my lash line as much as possible. I start on the outer corner and then I definitely work my way into the inner corner. And then I kind of like to pinch them together just to really mend my fake my real lashes with my fake lashes. And then as the glue is drying down, I'll kind of do this sweeping motion along my lashes just to really raise them. And this will help them to flare up a little bit and be nice and wispy. So always make sure that you have a mascara that's going to be blending the two lashes together, your falsies and your real lashes. So I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Carbon Black mascara. It's super black. It just blends in the lashes really, really nice, and it's very long lasting. It doesn't like fall down onto your face makeup and like smudge and get all over the place throughout the entire day. So you just want to make sure to add like a nice light coat. You don't want to go too heavy handed, just because if you put too much mascara like onto the false lashes, the mascara will start to like clump up, and the more times that you use them, the worse condition they're gonna get. And then to move on to lips, we're just gonna take off the chapstick. If you want to leave it on, that's totally fine. It'll actually sheer out the lipstick a little bit more. That way it looks a little bit more natural throughout the entire day. So you can definitely go in with the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. I find that these are very lightweight on the lips. They're very affordable. They're a great lipstick to try out, especially a liquid lipstick, since those are very like in trend right now. I'm gonna be showing you two different methods though. I'm gonna be showing you one that's a little bit more of a sheer look, and then I'm gonna show you one that has the actual liquid lipstick on. So I'm gonna take the applicator and I'm gonna run that onto the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna grab my ring finger and then just pick that up and lightly press on my lips. So this is look number one with the finger application. Now look number two is going to be a little bit more dramatic, just because when you take it directly onto the lips with the applicator, it's going to be a whole lot more pigmented. Alright, and then this is look number two. So I definitely find that option number one is going to save you a lot more on product. It'll expand the lifetime on this as well, because you're not having to re-dip and re-dip back into the tube to add on more product. You're just taking one little dip and then kind of taking it with your finger and applying it like that. Alright guys, and that is the end of the makeup tutorial. I hope you guys found this extremely helpful, especially to the ones out there that are kind of lost as to like where to start with wearing makeup. Like I said in the beginning of the video, make sure to go and check out Dinah's video, which is going to be also a new beginner to a smoky eye. Make sure to go and subscribe to her channel. Tell her that I sent you over from my channel. And yeah. Alright guys, so until the next tutorial, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you later. Bye!